So a very, very, practical top 2 tips will be, please do a thorough research, right, before you go to meet up with the recruiter or the employer, because it's not easy to shortlist someone. So if people want to see you, make sure you spend some time, do your homework, look at the website, and company profile. Another shortcut will be check out the company website press release. You will get the latest news about the company. So it's a bit of shortcut to know, let's say they are listed for IPO and what's the latest products or services. And do more, get to know who is the hiring manager, their background a little bit, and so if you can search, there's so many things on the website. Tip number 2, of course, you've learned so much and you're prepared. Please do a role play or practice with a friend. You'd be surprised. I have some close contacts or friends or family who think they know they are ready, and because your CV is there, right? You know all your work experience. But it's different when suddenly you meet up with a recruiter and maybe you're stressed or you are nervous, right? Tell me about yourself. Actually, a lot of people go blank. It's so true.
It sounds easy, but actually come to the reality is not very much, manageable for a lot of people. Before we move forward, I have 2 things I just would like to give an echo. So tip number 1, particularly thorough research sounds simple, but it's always a missing part when you are busy. When you just, thinking that I'm a bit nervous and then, I need to prepare this and that. But at the very end, you miss the very critical part is to know about your future employer. So then what is the right way? Then Sabrina already mentioned that internet is actually full of information. You just type about the company name on Google, first of all, and press news, not image, whatever. Press news. And definitely you find a lot of current news about that company. Probably you need to know about that. And second of all, they already got a lot of digital targeting information for you that you also see about the similar company. So that means it's actually the competitor. You need to know more about the things happening in their field. That is so much important. And final point is, again, is a reminder for you guys, because we really got a lot of questions from Microsoft Teams, the Teams Live. Okay. So don't miss it, because we will walk through the next part is about the interviewing skill. Okay. And also there will be something, also an extra bonus skill for you. And after that, there will be Q&A session. So do share your question to us.
Okay, let's get started with the 7 tips for interview skills. There's a lot of tips out there, so we just pick a top 7. Energy. It's so important, guys. What does it mean? Your presence, when you enter the company, do you smile, or if you exude very stress and tension, energy, smile, right? And also receptionists, don't look down on them. They could be actually a gatekeeper, and be friendly and do not be rude to them. They may be the one who give feedback later on to the hiring manager. Oh, this guy is so rude, come in late and rude basically and all that. We have that experience before. And body language, right? So you want to look relaxed, comfortable. Of course, dress code is very basic. Please dress professional and relevant to the role, the industry you're in. Decent, yeah. And your voice tone as well. You don't want to speak like a little mouse that people hear, or too loud. You're like blah 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 blah.
You're talking about me?
Sounds familiar. We all know that, but I think it's different in that sense. You have got a very good energy. And a firm handshake is very important. What does it mean? I personally have experience of a jellyfish handshake.
Jellyfish.
You know what's jellyfish, right?
Of course.
It's so bad. So we have this candidate who, working out after, it's very nice guy, very decent, very good experience, but such a soft jellyfish handshake. So, it's not judging or whatever, but it does reflect a little bit, of your personality.
Right.
It maybe reflect a little bit of maybe, fickle-minded or not confident or, decision making. I don't know. So even though if the person does not have this negative connotative, but it's it's just too bad. It gives that kind of aura.
Can you go back to the previous slide? I think, yeah, the one before that. I think just want to give an echo because when Sabrina talked about that, suddenly hit my memory to one theory that I keep on searching on the internet. It's called Mirabian rule. There is a rule contributing a person's impressions. So that's a magic number of 7, 38, and 55. If the percentage of the constructs. So when people restore your first impression, so the contribution factor, 55% that people will retain the memory is all about your nonverbal. That means how you dressed, your body language, your handshake. So they memorize it the best. And 38% is your tone. Okay, and so sorry that only 7% is actually the content that you said. So make sure that you give a very good and impressive, positively impressive image to your future employer.
Yep. Very, very true. Yep. So please remember that tip 1, very good energy and their presence. You want to charm the recruiter or the hiring manager. Tip number 2, what does it mean, right? 1-minute elevator pitch. So, yesterday we shared about this very basic, tell me about yourself. So what do you say when the recruiter or hiring manager asks you, do you talk a lot about your hobbies or your personal life stories and all that? So point number 1, please do not tell about your whole life stories. You must know the reason why hiring manager or recruiter have this question. Your resume already show a lot of information. So why do they need you to repeat that? So the thing is that they want to see your presentation skills, your communication, how you carry yourself. When you speak, your personality exude out, right? Are you arrogant? Are you sincere? Are you confident? Are you faking it out? So please take note of all these little non-verbal cue as well. So it's a 1-minute summary of your background, experience, education, and skills. So actually relay back to the few key pointers of your profile summary. So not to get stressed out or worried, look back at the profile summary that we shared just now. So because of it's a few key pointer, right? What you can do is you can link all the pointers together and turn it into a nice storytelling. About you. So it will take 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. I will move on to tip number 3, strength and weaknesses, which is a very, very common question. So Alvin, maybe tell me about your strength. So how do you usually answer this?
Well, I got a lot. And first of all,
humble.
Okay, 2 things.
Just 3 pointers.
2 things, okay. 2 things only for my strength. Number 1, I think I shouldn't say I think, but I'm proactive. So I grab about the chance. I won't bound it by the salary. So I do things according to the value. If there would be value creating, so I don't mind whether that is inclusive in my salary or not. And second of all, I know how to communicate with people. So if you are a little bit introvert person, so I try to do a very good rapport by not, dominating the conversations. Okay. But then if you're more extrovert, and then I'll be able to, make a very good energetic talk with you. So these is the 2 things. Did you ask my weakness as well?
Yes, please.
Basically, no.
Please. Oh my God.
But I will also say that.
Be humble. Yeah.
Okay, overconfidence.
Overconfident, that's also weakness, right?
All right.
Good point. So I want to, share with you guys how, you look at, you were saying about, proactive, right? And also
be able to connect with people, communicate with
people oriented. So you just need to come up with 2-3 pointers and then share a bit of example. That's it. Strength. Do not come up with a whole long winded kind of story in the beginning. You will actually get the hiring manager will actually get lost with what you say, because we have some people who in Canada it's called 兜圈. You go round and round from the beginning. So it's no pointer, detail-minded, people-oriented, and then you give some example, and then you stop, and then you look at the hiring manager. If they are interested to know, hey, Sabrina, what do you mean by detail-minded? Just share some experience or example. That's it. And then you move on to weakness, right? So for weaknesses, maybe some candidate will ask, how should I share about my real weakness? If I am always late, do I mention it or not?
Very good.
So I give a very good example of perfectionist, and also Alvin overconfident. I mean, you try to think of a trait which is maybe could be a bit of your weaknesses, but you also portray a bit of your strength. Yeah. How do you turn it around? For example, perfectionist, I tend to focus a little bit more too much details, that I miss the deadline. So maybe I should strive for excellence and not perfection, for something like that. So, and work on progress. Yep. That's it. So we go on to tip number 4. Why are you interested about this job?
Wow.
What do you think?
Think a little bit about that first. Because I think if you don't prepare about that, that may be a trap for you to really fall into and then tell about the fact, because I need money. Okay? But I think that's not going to be a very good answer. Except that if you be able to search more about the company and try to match that company's prospect with your own career's prospect, I think that would be a very good way of answering these questions.
That's true. Never say it's because of salary or, I'm looking for more money. You'd be surprised some people are verbally saying that we'll recruit it. Well, I do not share this out. So you want to be professional, right? Look at the job posting, look at your CV. You want to share your interest in the industry and how your passion can add value to the role, something relevant. Okay. Tip number 5, why should we hire you?
Wow.
How do you answer this question?
I think this question would be a bit tricky because, okay, in a way to say you'll be able to show your strength again. But at the same time, if you oversell yourself, that, the other side won't feel very comfortable to see that, in the future, I need to work with an arrogant person. So how we be able to keep our humbleness, but at the same time, don't stop our confidence. So I think that is actually the right balance of that.
So I mean, you're right. We need some moderation, right? So basically just remember, there's a reason why employer or the company have this role, because they need someone to help them with this problem or to meet these needs. So if you highlight what they're looking for, the job description and requirements, and think on your CV, what are some of your strengths and skills that match? It's very easy already. You show them, look, you're looking for this, right? I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're looking for me, right?
I actually done that before and it worked.
Okay.
So just be relevant, and share your experience and skills, which why they need to hire you. Okay. Tip number 6, why did you leave your last job? We have many scenarios about this, right? Why people leave their last job. I mean, some people could be because you got laid off. Sometimes it could be you don't have a good relationship with your ex-boss, right? The chemistry, or maybe you're fired, or you work 24/7. Overwork, burnout. So do you tell the truth? How do you answer this question, right? So I think the key thing is remember, never badmouth or say any negative for your previous employer. I guess here the trick is just be honest. Yeah, if you get laid off, I think it's okay to mention. I mean, nowadays we know. I mean, this kind of situation, economy downturn that hits a lot of people. Just mention that you got laid off, and you can mention a little bit more in the company. There are about 10 of us that are affected, but I decided to move on, and maybe it's a good opportunity for me to explore something which I've not got the time to do that.
I think currently under COVID, right, the economic situation is really pessimistic. So that's why layoff would be something really happening in the society. And if that is the real fact, and then I think what SAP would like to advocate is not to hide the fact, believe that people can understand about that, but to be more factual, not only about you, but how many people in the company or how many percentage of the whole workforce are being laid off and reduced it. I think that already gives a very objective picture to the future employer. But then if you are not actually being affected by the current economic economic situation, but you would like to switch yourself into the other job. I got a very interesting mindset myself that I see that I wish that one day, if I'm going to switch the job, I'm not telling that I'm going to, but one day, but one day if I'm going to do that, I wish to tell my future employer that I planned to do. That means I've been, planned my career very well, and I see resignation is actually part of my graduation. Okay, I got a completely clear of my career planning. So I want to join a company for 5 years for doing this to achieve that, and I did it. So that's why it's actually my next move to do. So I think that's a very positive one. So two sides, if you're in a bit negative situation, make sure that we keep our honesty. But if you're on the positive side, make sure that you really have your career plan to do the reason for leaving in a positive way.
Yeah, that's true. I recall back one example, maybe I just share one. I mean, there's so many. So a candidate asked, right, because she decided to take a 1-year sabbatical leave. And before to move to the next job. So in the CV, there's a 1-year gap, right? So she was like, should I tell the truth? But I wasn't really working throughout the 1 year. So I say, what do you do? In the 1 year, I was doing help out with the social worker, actually, help out with some of the disabled kids. And meanwhile, she was picking up some painting skills and all that. The reason is she has been so into her work, right? There's no time for her to spend time with her own passion, hobbies, and things that from her heart she really wanted to do. So I asked her, I think you should tell the truth. Why not? I mean, nowadays employer will appreciate candidates who are honest, be open, and not only that, right? I think if you want, take a 1-year break and do something which you're passionate about, it shows that you have proper planning and you're passionate about something and you want to take time out. Why not?
I completely agree about that. Even though I doubt, 100% of the employer would have that open mindset or not. Yet, sabbatical leave has been having a lot of proof the research talking about if you have this leave, implemented in your workforce. People working under with these such kind of arrangement, they are pretty much innovative.
Yeah.
Because if you got a break and then just do something that you're passionate with, then your perspective change.
Yeah.
When you put this innovation, put back to your workforce, that is a benefit to the company. So it's nothing about the job, hunting, but taking this opportunity. I also would like to advocate to the employer. If you are, with us, do consider that, receive the honesty from the, job seeker.
Yeah.
They are doing nothing wrong with telling you the honest side. Yeah. But at the same time, we also need to be open-minded.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. So you're right. I call that totally. Candidate who came back after 1 year sabbatical, they are more creative, more productive. Because before that, those who got burnt out, they never get rested properly. So yeah, there you go.
No, I need it.
Ellen, tip number 7. That's the last one for interview tips, right? Do we have time? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is a very common question. Towards the end, the interviewer will ask you, do you have any questions, right? What do you do with that? I will highly encourage you to come up with at least 2 or 3 questions. Why? Because I think it's common sense, right? It also makes the employer knows that you're interested in the company, you do some research, you want to know more. So, 1 or 2 examples, what makes you attracted to this company? And can you describe what is the company culture? That's it, very practical.
Sure.
You have any add-on to this?
So completely, I think, again, I'm not going to give the tips, and etc. But I think this kind of reflection and also practice would be contributing ourselves, again, not only for job seeking, but at the same time, how we be able to reflect our life, what is right, what is wrong, what is good for us, what is suitable for us. So by asking ourselves the right question, that is also a huge power of discovery.
Yeah, I will encourage, always tell go for as many interviews as possible, because actually throughout the journey, right, you will learn more about yourself, what you want, and you will know more about the industry that you want to explore and the company as well.
Correct.
Go for it.